Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back covering the Walten files again. Now I was originally going to be covering the game Welcome to Bond's Burgers, and I did actually literally just before this just record a little section starting to play that. But for one thing, when I got kind of like to the menu bit, I wasn't really 100% sure whether this was actually the original game or whether it was like a remade version of it, maybe because of some of the credits and stuff. But it's also, I got into the game and I was like, I'm really not going to enjoy this. I'm not very good with horror games. It's kind of ironic. I'm really good with like real life scares and like scare mazes and stuff, and yet horror games I'm not good with like in the moment. Like, I think it's just the whole thing of like, you know, at least with like videos and stuff that I can react to, at least I don't have to keep like, you know, going over and over again because I keep losing on it. And yeah, so I really wasn't in the mood to do that. So instead, what I thought I'd do is, because I really want to get onto the main series and kind of the videos that I really love and stuff, I just decided, screw it, I'm just going to go onto like the main series for the Walten files. So I'm on YouTube at the moment, and I've actually created a marathon here, playlist, unlisted of course, of all the Walten files things that I could find that were relevant. There is one video which I'll actually be reacting to in this one, which isn't on YouTube anymore, but I've managed to get it in a different way. I'll explain about that when I get to it. But yeah, so the first one we're going to be reacting to is this Health Department PSA one. So I believe this was like a little thing created during COVID, just as like a little teaser for the main online series. And so yeah, here's a description. It's from a channel called the Walten Files Archive. It's not, you know, it's not on Martin Wolves' channel anymore. This is like a kind of unlisted video. So this one says, Health Department PSA is a video made in 2020 to try and help people from the coronavirus. The video was shared in the FNAF subreddit. The video was deleted in YouTube and Martin's Reddit account. The YouTube version was deleted in April or May, possibly due to it mentioning COVID-19. The Reddit version, reasons unknown. I guess maybe it's just because, I don't know, I think some people are quite sensitive about, you know, COVID videos and stuff like that, and so, you know, even if it's just like not doing really anything too offensive, I think it's just kind of with the subject matter and stuff, some people didn't want to keep those kind of things up, and so, or they always had to like put a warning at the start saying, warning, this is not meant to, you know, make light of the situation or anything. But I mean, I've seen this before. I mean, I've seen a lot of these before, by the way, but this will be going back into them and going over them a little bit more in depth, and yeah, just reacting to all the creepy stuff in them. So I guess without further ado, let's start with this one. I'll just make sure. Most of these are going to be 480p, by the way, because, yeah, with the analog horror of it, it keeps it kind of low frames per second. I'll just double check with closed captions as well. No, they're auto-generated. With some of them, they aren't auto-generated, and they actually do help with a bit of the lore and stuff. So, yeah, we're going to start off with Health Department PSA. Re-uploaded. So let's care. A message from Bond's Burgers regarding COVID-19. I'm probably going to be pausing a lot, by the way. And it's funny as well. So the comma, or yeah, comma and a full stop there to kind of like go one frame forwards, one frame back. But I didn't realize as well, it's because they're like the two kind of arrow things, or like the two kind of like, it's not brackets, it's like the kind of more than or less than symbols. That's the reason why it's those two buttons. So yeah, I never realized that, but yeah, I'll be using them quite a lot through this. See little bits
Welcome
of lore.
to the Bond's Burgers Health PSA. After the sudden situations over the world, we decided to make a certain protocol for our Bunny Smiles employees to follow.
Isn't that nice?
This tape provides a 3-step plan for our employees to help the world unite against the worldwide threat known as COVID-19.
COVID-19. I just love it when like AI voices like call it COVID and not COVID. In fact, I think you've even seen some people call it that. But there's little Bon there. We'll see a lot more of little Bon as the series goes on. But you can see already, like with the, you know, the analog horror tropes of it being like really pixelated, really kind of muffled like voice and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all really cool.
This tape doesn't provide exactly a way to destroy the virus, but IT sure helps to know.
But IT sure helps. Oh god. Yeah, sometimes the AI voice doesn't always get it right.
To know what procedures we must take for the best of our own health and the community's health.
And the community's health.
We must take for the best of our own health and the community's health.
I love that little pause. I don't know whether that was intentional or not to make it a bit more creepy, or I don't know.
Section 1. Self-care hygiene.
Something which goes when you have depression.
Here at Bunny Smiles Incorporated, we always tell our employees how important it is for them to wash their hands. Now it's important that you wash your hand every time you may touch a
Even if you are a robot rabbit.
public object, such as doorknobs, bus hand railings, and water dispensers. While the main task is to avoid touching any public used object, if you ever fail this task, always remember to wash your hands in and out of the company.
To wash your hands. I love some of the pronunciations
silly
on
boss.
this.
Aren't you forgetting something? That's right, never forget to use soap when you wash your hands.
I want to think that this is canon, because then that means it's canon that Bunny Smiles actually made a soap. That'd be great. I'm pretty sure most of these ones aren't canon. I think the only ones that are canon now are the ones actually on the main YouTube channel. But I like to cover it all. I always like to go through every kind of thing that a creator's done, even if I miss out on a very scary game like Welcome to Bond's Burgers. But never mind. I feel like this is the more kind of like interesting stuff, and it's the stuff which I'll actually be able to react to a little bit better. So yeah.
We also recommend you to buy one hand sanitizer in case you don't have a clean bathroom near you. You should also buy a face mask depending on the number of infected people around you.
I think I still actually have my face mask. Yeah, here it is. This is the one that I used to wear, which was kind of like a kind of like a ski mask almost. But yeah, it kind of looked cool. Anyway, I just wanted to look cool with it, to be honest. But yeah, I wore that loads of times, like in uni and stuff when the pandemic started. And, obviously going out to places and parks and stuff when they finally reopened. So yeah, so I've got that for when the next pandemic starts.
You never know when you could be infected.
Section 2.
Yeah, I don't like the long pauses. They're very kind of unnerving.
Thinking about the rest.
Oh god, that's something that so many people find so difficult. I remember me and my brother went to, I think it was a Tesco's here in Crewe, like, I think just before the lockdown, and they genuinely had run out of toilet paper and stuff. Like, it was crazy, like, the shelves just completely empty. Yeah, really crazy. I can't remember what we actually went to go and get, but yeah, it wasn't just the toilet paper, though. There was, like, so much stuff that had been taken, but yeah, that's what happens in the apocalypse, I guess.
Whoa, hang in there, little ball. Don't you think that's way too much toilet paper for only one small rabbit?
I don't know, it depends how much. Never mind, let's
If
move on.
not, never forget to keep these things in mind. Dash. You are not alone in this. Millions of people around the world are struggling with the same needs. Not only you, they also need certain things for their self-care and to avoid getting infected.
I like how it says step 1. Just a reminder.
And remember that by buying so much more than enough, you're only spreading panic across your area. Please be considerate and share. We are a community, and each one of us matters.
Section 3. Follow the instructions.
80% of Little Bond's area has COVID-19. Bond's area has been told to stay in their houses until new advice. Little Bond, as disobedient and dumb as always, did
Yes, he is, little bot. I mean, I'd argue Banny's the dumb one, but we'll find out about her later.
listen what he was told and left his home. He's now exposed to the 80% of people with the virus and will most likely get infected now.
I like how Bond's always like in the blue collar worker costume as well, just like, hard hat, hammer, just he's always like that.
Don't do that.
Don't
It's
do that.
important to always follow the instructions given to you. They are for the best of the community. However, it's important to be aware of some things. Do not follow instructions that aren't verified by a higher authority. Don't believe in anything you read or see on the media in the world. You'll probably be notified whenever a certain protocol is happening. Don't disobey the steps we have given you. They are for the best of everyone.
Apart from if you're a member of our British government, and if so, you can do whatever you want. Oh, I love getting political sometimes, it's great.
If you followed these 3 steps correctly, then congratulations. for you have completed the 3-step guide to avoid panic, riots, and fast spread of COVID-19. We're glad that you are an employee of this company. That's why you are the most important thing to us right now. We love you, and never forget to take care. Now let's see how Vaughn is doing at the hospital
I
after
know
he
what's
got
coming.
infected.
Yep, this is where the creepy stuff comes in.
He didn't follow the instructions. Now look at him. Follow the instructions.
Oh, it's so uncanny, the movement.
Follow the instructions. Follow the instructions.
No. I'll just move the microphone a little bit further back. Oh, God. You see what I mean? It's just like the uncanny movements and stuff. And I mean, the design of it as well is just... Yeah, it's... As this kind of goes to more like the disturbing, horrific side of it, rather than like, you know, ooh, you know, it's just the spoopy jump scares, you know, like this is where it goes to like the really kind of horrific stuff. And it's basic design, it's very kind of simplistic, but I feel like it's very effective a lot of the time, especially with some of the later stuff as well. Okay. Oh, and the eyes. This is something I noticed in analog horror a lot as well, is with, or specifically kind of in Martin Waltens' analog horror, it's in other ones as well, but where, to make it a bit more creepy, they make the pupils like really, like they make them black pupils, but really kind of like enlarged, and also kind of warp it sometimes. It really works for that kind of creepy analog horror. And yeah, I do not like you staring at me, Bon. I don't know whether there was something that just flashed on screen as well, whether that's just from me pausing at a weird moment. Ugh. Oh god. And then I think that just... Oh, no, not Fairy Platinum. Yeah, I think that just said the Walten files at the end of it. I think it's probably because the name hadn't actually been announced to the series yet, because at this point, everyone would have just known it as Welcome to Bond's Burgers. They wouldn't have known it specifically as the Walten files. I believe in Welcome to Bond's Burgers, there were characters like Sophie Walten, there were all the animatronics. Apart from Shah, the sheep, she wasn't in it. From the main menu that I saw. So it's got little bits of the lore like in there at points, but yeah, it hadn't actually been officially called the Walten Files at that point. So yeah, so that was the first one. You can get like a little bit of a teaser of like the, you know, the disturbing aspect of it at the end of that. But now we're going to move on to the very first episode. Now, this is technically a very specific version of the first episode, because on the YouTube channel at the moment, you'll probably notice that it's out of order with the rest of the episodes. That's because episode 1 company introductory tape had to be re-uploaded because of, I believe there was like some content that was copyrights, whatever. So someone claimed it. I don't know whether either it was just like a copyright claim or whether it was that they actually tried to get a strike and try and get the video taken down, whatever. But the point is, Martin then remade the original video with new assets and stuff, but also it included some like little extra bits added in afterwards. So for this marathon, I wanted to actually go back to the original video as well. Unfortunately, that isn't actually on the YouTube channel. It's not on YouTube anymore because it got completely deleted, I believe. And so I managed to find it on a very helpful website called archive.org, where I managed to sneakily get it from there. And so I have a copy of the original first version of the Walten Files 1, and then once we actually get to further in the series, I'll cover the re-uploaded version when that was re-uploaded. So I've got it in the kind of list, and I've got it on the list on my phone as well. So I'll just get that set up now. The problem is, because it's not on YouTube, it means I have to put it into Windows Media Player, which means I can also go frame by frame on it. I'll just actually have to remember how to do that. So yeah, I'll be back with you in a moment.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Right, okay, so I've now got the video in Windows Media Player of company introductory tape. So the way to actually get up frame by frame in Windows Media Player is to right click on the screen, go to enhancements, and then play speed settings, and then that'll give you a little thing in the top corner here where essentially you can go forwards or backwards frame by frame. The only problem is there isn't a button to do that, so I'll literally have to just click it, but it's only for this one video. There are also some bits in this one, I believe, where it goes in reverse. For that, I might put that into my editing software, DaVinci Resolve, and we can watch that afterwards or whatever. But yeah, for now, let's go into company introductory tape. Right, so we've got Cyberfun Tech, Bunny Smiles Inc. Restaurant, 1974, and it's Bob's Burgers, yay. The only other thing with this as well is that I believe there were captions originally on this video, which unfortunately now obviously I can't get up because, yeah, it's not on YouTube anymore, but as I say, the captions should be on the re-uploaded version, so we can always watch that later. But...
Hi, and welcome to the introductory tape to your new job at Bunny Smiles Incorporated. You have applied to a job in technical support and maintenance. What does this job particularly mean? It means that you, amongst other employees, are
There's little Bon.
the one who will take care of creating a magical and fun experience for Bon's Burgers.
Oh god. And here are the lovely animatronics. There they are, singing with glee. Yeah, you can just see the designs are just absolutely terrifying. And this is when they're not like broken down and stuff. They're just, yeah, really creepy. I mean, just look at them teeth. That, and I think it's just like, again, the eyes, like, you know, really lazy eyes and stuff. Like, you know, that one clearly looks broken and stuff. I should actually put this into full screen. Might as well. And again, just like the kind of lazy eyes again as well. This makes it really creepy. Like almost like they're not fully broke down, but they're kind of not like the most advanced animatronics, I guess. It's like the old-timey music as well. Like, just really creepy. It's unfortunate. I'm gonna have to keep like pressing the play button on there every now. In fact, hold on. Oh, that's repeat. Never mind. I thought that might have been a reverse button, but unfortunately not. And here's Banny, the dumb bunny. No, that's not Banny. That's Boozer. And that's Bon. And it's just like that, just that stare. There you go. And that stare, I mean, look at that. She looks traumatized there. But yeah, so this is Banny, the other bunny. She's a dumb bunny. And again, it's just like it's very simplistic animation, but yet that makes it quite effective because it's really... So it's kind of like, for example, on Scarcity, because I mentioned about Bagpuss, which, you know, was something that really traumatized me as a child. But because it's such like basic animation with, again, this kind of like analog effect where it's like, you know, really old footage, it makes it really creepy. And so yeah, it's really effective, I feel like, for this. Also, probably this is going to get copyrighted, by the way, this music, but who cares? It's like the mouths aren't even moving in time sometimes. Indeed. They're very realistic pigs.
These are the showstoppers. Bon, Shaw, Buzu, and Banny.
Right, I'll just go through each of these, because... Hold on. There we go. Frame by frame, here we go. Come on. These are the showstoppers. This will be so much more easy on YouTube. Hold on. There we go. So we've got Bon there. And again, like I think in some of these earlier ones, kind of like the designs aren't like as, they don't kind of like match as much. But again, that still gives it the kind of like that simplistic style, which makes it creepier in a way. But yeah, so you got Bon there. And then
Bon,
Shah, which went off again. This is an absolute mess. Absolute mess.
these are the showstoppers.
Bon, okay. There we go, Shah. Because I was just going to say, like, really sharp teeth in all of these characters, and then sharp with a little. Is that technically a choker? Is it a collar? I don't know. And then Buzu will be coming up. Again, like, really creepy, like, off eyes in a way. And then Banny with a lovely eyelashes. Dumb bunny.
Buzu and Banny, a computer-animated band made by BSI to entertain children.
And BSI being Bunny Smiles Incorporated.
As a technician, you'll be given the role of a facility caretaker.
There we go. And I remember some people saying that this is the GTA typeface, which is funny. But again, like, this is kind of an independently created thing. So yeah, those things will happen. So working as facility caretakers, that's kind of like the main role that a lot of the employees have in this series. And there's little Bon again.
Around this fun and magical journey, we'll work on certain tasks, such as cleaning protocols,
Robot maintenance and repair.
Do you think that bit was meant to be scary? Because of the big, low, deep, booming voice. Hold on. I'll see if I can try and...
Around this fun and magical journey, we'll work on certain tasks, such as...
Yeah, so cleaning duties there with the... It's interesting as well, they kind of have like the realistic logo there, but then kind of like the cartoon... I mean, I say realistic, but like you'd imagine like this is the version that's actually seen on the establishment, while this is kind of just like the cartoony version. Right, robot maintenance and repair with big bowling ball shaped Bon head there. It's also interesting with this as well. I believe that this is from one of the secret tapes from the second one, where it's like one of the very old advertisements right from the start of Bon's Burgers, or from BSI. I think that might say Bunny Smiles Incorporated there.
Maintenance and repair.
Also, I just realised as well on that one.
Cleaning protocols.
Robot maintenance.
Doesn't he look a bit like Trollface in a way? He does a bit, just slightly. I wonder if that was intentional or not. I don't know.
And repair.
And learning
And then
how to use BSI technology.
learning how to use BSI technology. So it's learning from. I'm assuming they would have had like similar to these tapes. They would have had the animatronics teaching the employees how to work all the stuff, I guess.
But first, here's a message from Jack Walten and Felix.
There we go, Jack Walten and Felix Kranken. And so Felix was mentioned in the Night of the Living Robot, and then Jack Walten there with his head clearly photoshopped on. I believe actually they're meant to be two of the creators of Atari, who were also the people who started off Showbiz Pizza, which is something like Chuck E. Cheese in a way. And so, so that's kind of a nice little reference there that, two creators being used as the faces of this company, but clearly with kind of like warped features and stuff. And yeah, a lot of people say that Jack Walton looks like Snape, sort of. I remember actually watching the Ricky Gervais series Afterlife, and there's a character in that who actually, he's only in it for like, I think one of the later seasons, but he looks exactly like Jack Walton. So funny.
Felix Kranken, our beloved fountain.
Which reads, in BSI, the most important thing to us isn't the money or the rating. The most important thing to us is that you have a wonderful experience while working with us.
That being said, with the Bon's Burgers restaurant getting opened in a few weeks, we're looking forward.
Looking forward. And look at him with his big thumb. Look at that face.
To achieving this dream with you.
Looking forward. And there's a creepy glitch. K9! K9! I had to do that as a Doctor Who fan. So yes, this is the K9 facility. Now it's interesting with this as well. So Bunny Smiles Incorporated, storage facility K9, property of Cyberfun Tech, 1975. Now it's interesting with this as well because we learned about like some of the incidents in 1974, and yet the bunker seems to be like open before 1975, or like people go to the bunker like in 1974, and I'm thinking that the bunker was officially opened in 1975, but it was built and like things were put into it before 1975, so in 1974, but the official opening was 1975, I assume, or that's maybe when it got like owned by Cyberfun Tech. I don't know. Anyway, so here it is in St. Juana's Forest, private location. I believe also the asset use for this is like an actual Polish bunker somewhere, which is a really cool, really cool little fact. So save, restore, secure. I can speak today. The BSI storage facility, also known as K9.
K9!
I won't do that every time, don't worry. Is a company project to storage all valuable items from the closed for good Bond's Burgers restaurant. Given the situations about the incidents inside the 1974 Bond's Burgers location, any types of props, animatronics, and arcade machines will be carefully moved, inspected, and secured inside a bunker located deep down in St. Juana's Forest for good. A facility caretaker will take care of securing the facility and keeping it safe and working properly. So, yeah, just essentially, it's weird. I just read through that, I actually kind of have to like reread it again to know what I was actually talking about. So storage all the valuable items after it closed, after these incidents in 1974, which we will find out about. So any props, animatronics, arcade machines, essentially any of the stuff there, carefully moved, inspected, and secured. So this is when they need to actually have some of the facility caretakers to go in and actually, check all this stuff that's been put in there. Facility caretaker will take care of the security in the facility and keeping it safe, working properly. So that's kind of what their job is. So they didn't really work necessarily directly in the kind of Bond's Burgers facility. It's more that they worked in the storage facility after the incidents of 1974. I don't know whether I think I should create a timeline for this at some point just to keep track. I'll do it when there's more like kind of specific dates, I think. And maybe not for this video as well, because this one isn't necessarily canon anymore, but yeah. Love a little glitch there. Yay, reversed audio. Yeah, I'll have to put that into DaVinci Resolve after this. I believe other people have reversed it online, but I'll do it for the video, because why not?
You finally start to remember. That's all day. They will be back for you soon. Sophie.
Oh, and that's interesting. That sound effect just then, that kind of like gearing up, almost like putting like a VHS in. That's what was used in Night of the Living Robot when you like kind of launch up the games. That's interesting how that's been reused. That's cool. You see, I get all the Easter eggs. Right, Sunlight Animation presents. I don't really believe we've seen much of the animation studio in the rest of the series. Yeah, these sound effects in the background, yeah. I never noticed them before, that's interesting. Bunny Smile Incorporated cartoon. And then Little Bond's Neighborhood in Comic Sans. My god, me doing a graphic design course. We were literally told on our graphic design course that if we ever use Comic Sans, we would literally be kicked off the course. So yeah, it's just funny that that's been used. And yeah, Brighton 27. I believe, I'm not 100% sure whether there's been revealed yet in the series, but I believe that that might be the address of the Waltens household. I'm not sure. Again, it could be a thing in Walten Files 4, it could just be a thing that I'm forgetting from the rest of the series, but might actually be through, there's a website later on which I believe might go into the whole Brighton 27 thing, but it's the main place that this place, the main area this takes place in is Brighton, Michigan, so that's kind of the main kind of area that will be covered in the series. 1979, Sunlight Animation. Again, that would be a really good thing to put onto a timeline, but yeah, I think I'll do that for the second upload of the video, mainly just because I can't be bothered to get up Photoshop at the moment. Bond's Super Sleepover, written by Sarah Evelyn. Again, I think that's a character that we don't really, at least from what I've watched so far, we haven't really heard much about. I think they might possibly be a character that then gets more developed in like Walten Files 4 and onwards, possibly, from what I've heard from things. I believe Martin Wolsey does like Q&As on Twitter sometimes. I believe he was asked about specific characters like Sarah Evelyn and whether they'll actually be bigger in the series in future. I believe some characters like that would be, so yeah. Comic Sans,
It's a
though.
brand new day in Little Bond's neighborhood, and a really special one for sure.
Hey, it's the thumbnail.
Little Bon has been waiting all day for his friends to arrive. He is planning to have him sleep over with him. He has everything set up for the perfect movie night with his friends.
Stop staring at me, Bon.
For this sleepover, he invited Shah, Boozoo, and Billy. Let's check.
Look at Billy there. I think Billy is my favourite one. You'll probably see why as the series goes on. But yeah, he's my favourite, I think, not just because of his design and he's a clown and stuff, and I just kind of like that. It's also the fact that there's a lot of like weird coincidences with Billy that like it's kind of like he's kind of differentiated from the other ones in many weird and very specific ways, which I'll probably point out probably from episode 2 onwards, I think.
Again, in case we don't forget any guests. Bon invited Shah, Bozu, and
Hiya, Jack. Yeah, I just love like the edits done on the face there as well and stuff, and his eyes are gone. Poor thing. And again, that sound design as well, where it's like just really creepy sound effects and stuff, work really effective. I think I'm probably not like as viscerally scared of this stuff because I've watched it a few times, and also I think this is kind of like the scare stuff I'm good with. Is more just things like jumping out the camera and stuff, and I'm playing horror games where I'm actually in control, and everything can go wrong. Who's there?
oh, that must be them. Now that everyone has arrived, I suppose it's time for the movie night to begin. Bon spent all his money on a really funny movie, which he
Haha, so funny. Yes, that says home video. Again, kind of like the muffled out voice as well. Again, it just adds that little bit of creepiness there. And oh, look at Billy and his little light. Looks like a little purple ghost. And then just Boozoo chilling up top.
watch the movie. I guess we can say they had a blast of a time.
And just like Shah just like staring at the camera, and that, I think that's meant to be instead of Sony, it's Bonnie. Careful, Bonnie, I guess. 1978 there, which I believe is because it was 78 in Night of the Living Robot, wasn't it? Like it was Area 78, and everything was saying 1978 on it. I believe in this, it's when after the incidents of 1974, 1978 is when the place reopens, I think, and when some of the things with the relocation project, which is what happens in episode 2, I believe that happens around 1978. Also very interesting, this is Bond's house, and he has a plush of himself. That's very interesting. Also, Bunny Smile soap. There's an Easter egg for you. And then this says Sophie Walten, and it's some pills. I wonder what that means. We'll find out in another episode later on. Let me out of here. Oh, how nice. I think I just said once the night draws, they something. Hold on, I'll try and replay that. Hold on. Once the night draws or drops, they. I guess it's just like once it goes to night time, they go to sleep. I don't know. I could probably manipulate the audio with that or something. I don't know. Oh, look at him all asleep. Little Billy. You see, I would argue the eye mask is scary and everything. Again, it's like this thing with enlarged pupils staring directly at the camera. It's really creepy, I feel like. Yeah, you see? Much more creepier than anything else. Yeah, just please get rid of the eye mask. Please stop staring at me. Please. God. Yeah, and just like the sound effects in the background. It's just the sound design again. And I believe on this, there's a caption that says what the date is on it. So yeah, missing Jack Walten, last seen. I'm trying to remember the date off the top of my head. It's definitely 1974. I believe it's May 14th or something like that. Or it might be June. I don't know. But anyway, it's in 1974. It's very... After the incidents of 1974 happen, multiple people go missing, and Jack Walten is one of them, who is, as we saw before, one of the founders of the company with Felix Kranken. So, but yeah, just the sound design in this bit, I'll just rewind it a bit. Yeah. Really disturbing sound design. A lighter. And there's the jump scare. I always know that one's coming. I always know it's four little things in the lighter. I'll just go back to that with my thing in the corner. There we go. Problem is, when you click it for the first time, it doesn't go frame by frame. Is the problem. There we go. Oh, God damn it. Right. See, it doesn't go on the previous frame. Right, there we go. So we see here that says it's very pixelated as well, I understand, but that says Sophie there, and again there's enlarged pupils, really creepy, and then we've got Bon in the background there, big hole in his chest, and I believe this is meant to be like a purple uniform. I think it's just like the light from the lighter that makes it look red, but it's meant to be like a purple security uniform for the facility caretakers. But the interesting thing with this is that it's little Bon who turns into Sophie, and it's very interesting how, I believe in the third one, where it's basically kind of like Sophie playing on an arcade machine, she's playing as little Bon, and it's interesting how like there's a little Bon and then there's big Bon in a way, and like little Bon keeps getting represented by Sophie, and then big Bon is the actual animatronic. And so, yeah, I think it's just interesting looking through the series and then seeing any little cases of little Bon that might kind of represent Sophie at different points. Sophie, by the way, being Jack Walten's child, so one of his children, which I don't know whether that's been revealed at this point, but you saw the pills next to the TV as well. They're Sophie's, so there you go. Yeah, and then this is the footage that got... that had to be removed because it was copyrighted. But I'm like, like, is it really that big of a deal? Not really. Can we skip through this, please? Come on, there we go. Thank you. This will be so much easier on YouTube. Right, static. Right, here we go. So, it's, yes, oh, so that's 1982, yeah. So this is actually way later then. After the, yeah, I think it might have been the original relocation project was 1978, but then this is like a retry of it, I think, with this character that we're going to meet. So yeah, 12:44, so midnight essentially. On 10th of the 10th, so 10th of October. This is the thing as well, these are all going to be American dates as well, so I'm going to have to try and get used to the American dates on it, because I'm British and we do the date right. I mean, it makes more sense, doesn't it, like day, month, year instead of month, day, year. Like, it's just weird. Anyway, so yeah, so this is in 1982. So this is a massive jump forwards from the first tape, which I'm not sure when that tape would have been recorded. I guess like it would have been in 1978 still. I mean, yeah, I mean, because Little Bon's Neighborhood was 1978. But yeah, also it might have said in the description as well, but as I say, we don't have the description for this because this isn't on YouTube specifically. It might be very hard to hear the voice on this in a second, by the way, as well, but listen. This is also really creepy as well, having actual footage. Like, it's such a contrast from like the very kind of cartoony style, like real big contrast. I might just turn it up on my end as well. So he's the new caretaker, he said, for the Bunny Smiles facility, which will be K9. Recording it because the company requires archives. Probably also for evidence as well, because they probably know what's going to happen to him. And I believe on the video as well there are actually captions for this bit, so that's very helpful. He coughed. I'll just try and like get everything over, but yes, he coughed. Very important cough there. Yeah, it's a weird location somewhere in the forest, St. Juana's forest. Driving for 20 minutes, can't find the place. He made it to the location. But again, this is just so cool because that literally is just like a JPEG image of the bunker with the sign that's probably been made in Photoshop or something, then with just a little flashlight going over it. It's so effective because it makes it look like, I mean, obviously it doesn't look hyper realistic, but you know, it makes it feel like it's not just one flat image, you know, which is just so cool. Right, so Chris said that this place wasn't working since 78 or 79, which is when the relocation project happened. So yeah, so essentially relocation project happened. We'll find out what happens in that in the next episode, but after that it's been closed up until 1982 when they're sending this character along. And again, I think Chris is one of those characters which may be expanded on in later episodes that I haven't seen yet. And he said this is about 4 years ago, so yeah. And then he just said it's probably going to smell horrendous. I believe this bit gets a bit louder, so I'm going to turn it down. Yeah, he didn't like the smell. Yeah, so he's saying that he thinks that this is for relocation project. So I'm wondering whether this is the relocation project, like, re-happening, I guess, like them putting the relocation project back on, I guess. So yeah, so here's Bon. Big Bon. It's very hard to make it out. Also, I realise that this loud audio is just going to, like, overwhelm on the microphone, probably. Right, so now he's trying out, like, seeing how the animatronic works. He's going to try the head and the mouth. There you go. And just like the sound effects in the background. And then trying the arm, the right arm. Checking the left arm. But then he does the left arm and he malfunctions. Oh, and then that's just creepy. But yeah, it's interesting that he does the right arm, it's all fine, does the left arm, starts to malfunction. I believe in later episodes you kind of see that this thing's attached to the left arm. Like, I think like you sometimes see like the left arm with like a lot of blood on it or something. And so maybe that has some form of significance. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people see this bit as well, and like they kind of like laugh that it's just like a still image in silence. But I don't know, I find that kind of creepy that it just like, again, it's that kind of juxtaposition. Some people sometimes say about how like if in like a narrative, like the narrative kind of gets like it like goes from one thing to the next like very quickly, it kind of like kind of changes your expectation in a way of what you'd expect in like a straight narrative. Like when it completely turns that on its head, that can be quite unnerving. I think that's kind of what this scene similarly does. Like it's all kind of like very kind of listening into his voice, and then the sound gets louder, and then it just cuts off and just him staring at you. Yeah, I find that really creepy. So yeah, it's just really disturbing. And then again, the eyes, which I think it's all in the eyes, the creepiness. See, there you go, all in the eyes. All comes out of the eyes.
What was that thing?
Again, sound design. Oh. And then this random thing. I believe this was like the first CGI face or something. It's a bit of a bop though, isn't it? No. And it keeps going on. And then that is just disturbing. Like, again, just that one single frame, just so disturbing. I think that's meant to kind of represent as well, like, his skin kind of being kind of similar kind of in FNAF, how they have like the scooper that kind of like scoops all the innards out and leaves just his skin. I think that's kind of similar to what happened here. It's almost like his body being mangled, and that's represented by a CGI face. Yeah, but I believe that was like meant to be the first ever CGI face or something like that or whatever. But yeah, this is disturbing, and you see what I mean? Like it's like a well, not hand drawn, but like a very kind of simplistic art style. Yet it still looks disturbing, like, you know, with all this kind of blood and everything. Like, yeah, it's an art style that I really love because it is simple yet effective, I feel like. And again, just the silence from it. I can't feel anything. Big mood. He thought I was her. Which her who?
Her who?
Maybe Sophie Walten. Who knows? I think that's the end of it. Oh wait, no, there is a little bit after this. There we go. And here's his card. Brian Stells. Bye, Brian.
Bye, Brian.
I love as well. People always say this looks like a me, which it kind of does. But again, it's kind of like that simplistic art style, which I appreciate. And again, dilated pupils, really creepy. But yeah, simple yet effective. I feel that's what all this series is. And there we go. Company introduction tape. Written, drawn, edited by Martin Walls. Very talented guy. And then, yeah, sounds and music. So yeah, using like free sound, stuff like that. And then the Walter Files original soundtrack. Brand New Day by Jacob Woodson. Darkseid. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, so he actually, even at this point, was getting people in to like do soundtracks and stuff. And then DBR Games as Brian Stells. Pretty cool. Any other voice was achieved via, is that TTS? I think, yeah, it's like, you know, kind of like AI voice, which, yeah, I mean, there's the thing people always say about AI. I just think, like, if you're doing, like, a free project, I really don't see a massive problem with using AI. And to be honest, in later episodes, the AI voices are used less and less. But I think, like, starting off at this point, it also gives it that kind of creepy edge to it. So I think, yeah, you know, and also gets you really funny things like it's saying forward. But yeah. I can't remember if there's a little thing at the end of this as well. Ah, right, yeah, just little static. But yeah, at the end of some other videos, there are little creepy Easter eggs and stuff. But yeah, so that's the original first Walten Files video. Now, there's just one more that I'm going to cover very briefly as a little teaser to the next one, just because there's like a load of like kind of like 1 minute videos as well. So I thought I'll do like a few videos per episode of this series, and yeah, some is can get the most out of it. So the next one is called Teaser. I'll just load it up. Right, so yeah, so this is Teaser. So this is on the official channel. It's just unlisted. So consider this as some sort of 5K special. So it must have been when he got 5,000 subscribers. I can't put into words how grateful I am for all the support every one of you has given to the series and the channel. Thank you. That being said, episode 2 is doing really well, but I ask you to be patient and stay tuned. And then, yeah, music composed by Sweet Tuesday, which I believe is a band that he normally gets in to do some of the music, which is really cool. So this is a teaser for the Walten Files 2 relocation project. So let's give it a look. Oh, keep doing that. There we go. Oh, God. It's just the staring eyes. I'm sorry, that looked derpy. Billy, I love you, but you look very derpy there. Alright. And yeah, these are a few things from the first episode. Lovely music. Again, Sweet Tuesday, great music from them. And then these are the more realistic. Like, look at that. Like, that is, like, it's kind of, because I know like a lot of people compare this to FNAF, but I feel like with FNAF, it is a lot more of like the mascot horror, where it's like, you know, oh, you know, something that looks really friendly, but we're gonna give it a jump scare. This, I feel like it genuinely gets into like the horrific detail with some of the designs and stuff. Like, that just looks horrifying. Like, I mean, look at that. It looked, and it's just like the textures. Well, oh god, this is going to be going frame by frame. God damn it. Yeah, he likes to do this sometimes, where he just like puts a load of things frame by frame. I mean, I'll play this whole section, and then I'll go through frame by frame, just so you can just see what it's going to be. Oh, sorry. Whoop, hold on. There we go. Yeah. So I believe this is meant to be Billy in the background, maybe because Billy was kind of like, he's kind of more featured in the second one. In the first one, he's literally in like Little Bond's neighborhood. In the second one, he has more of a role. You actually see the proper animatronic. So while in the first one, you only really see the main four, which is interesting with Billy, because it's like you have three of them are like, you know, animals. So you have like Bon the bunny, Banny the bunny, and Shar the sheep. But then you have two which are like kind of circus carnival characters. You have Boozoo and Billy. You know, Boozoo, I don't know whether it's meant to be ringmaster or magician. It's one or the other. And then Billy the clown, obviously. But Billy is always, even though like he could technically be categorized in like the carnival ones, he's always kind of set aside from the rest of them. And I think with the second one, I've got a few theories about that. But yeah. And then Walten Files 2. Relocate project. Stay tuned. And then here's the ending. I'll just go over that bit again, just to go frame by frame. Frame by frame. There we go. Right, we're going to have to go back quite a bit. Right, so there we go. So here's... See, this is my point. So you have the four showstoppers, because it said in the first video that we're called the showstoppers, yeah. So that's the four main characters, but Billy isn't included in that. Which, you know, again, it's just always very interesting how he's treated as different in a way, and even in his design, he looks very different. And then you got Bon here. I believe this is a bit from one of the relocation project videos, because, like, you know, each video obviously has like an archive of different little like short home videos and stuff, and then I believe this bit's actually from recording from the relocation project itself. This is an 8-bit bit again. Billy here. This is an interesting thing in the next one, where kind of like Billy sent separately from the rest of them, and again, it's just that interesting thing of making him different from the other ones. And so, yeah, it's just interesting to have that distinction. And then you got Endo here. I believe this is from the secret tape. Then you got outside the facility there with little Bon in his little security hat. There is a facility caretaker hat. Again, purple, very similar to like Purple Guy from FNAF, the William Afton and stuff. Oh, you see, look at that. That's just... I don't even recognise that. I mean, maybe that's just an asset that was never used, but I think that's meant to be Shar. Kind of looks like that in colour scheme. And then, yeah, technical support 1978. Yeah, with Shar and the little 3D glasses. And then, yeah, Bon again. Ugh, so creepy. Then, yeah, Bon and Shar. An interesting thing with this image is that because we find out who Shar is kind of, I don't know, kind of like possessed by in a way, and it's interesting who Shar relates to, and then therefore how that could kind of show who Bon relates to in a way. Like, you know, like in FNAF, for example, you have the characters kind of like shoved into the animatronics. Similar thing happens here, and so with Shar we find out who's shoved into her, and because of this image it kind of gives a very interesting relation about who might be in Bon. But that's kind of like, you know, a thing that we still don't know for sure. Then there's a little Shar. Again, enlarged pupils, really creepy. And then there's a little Bond with his backpack. Benny. I think she's asleep there. And then, yeah, it's the same image again. I believe it just cycles through 'em. All of these. Yeah, probably just cycles through them all over again. I don't think there's anything new. Yep. Walten Files 2. Relocate Project. Brighton, Michigan. And then there's Bunny, Dumb Bunny. You'll understand the Dumb Bunny joke by the time we get to Walten Files 3. Yeah, thanks for supporting the Walten Files. Is there something at the end of this? Oh. So cool. Shadow Man. Yeah, that's the Shadow Man. Which, again, is another thing that we don't really know fully. Again, unless it's been revealed in Walten Files 4. It's a thing that we don't really know fully what it is. But, yeah, the Shadow Man. Shadow Man. Yeah, it keeps getting mentioned. So, yeah, that's pretty much all for this video on the Walten Files. As I say, sorry about Welcome to Bond's Burgers if you really wanted to see it. I'm too much of a wimp to play it. Maybe one day I'll come back to it. Like maybe if I get like into other horror games. There are a few other horror games which I feel like I can deal with a little bit better. One example of that is Amanda the Adventurer. That's another. It's kind of like an analog horror game, which yeah, I feel like I can deal with a little bit better. There's other games like that, Frambo, Little Misfortune, the kind of more like disturbing games rather like kind of like jump scary games. So maybe if I get into those ones and then build my way up, but I feel like going into a game like Welcome to Bond's Burgers, I lasted like a minute in there and I was just like, nope, I do not want to keep doing this. So yeah, so the next ones that I'll be covering, just looking at my little list here, is probably the relocation project. Then there's a secret video with that, so I'll probably do both of those. And the secret videos you essentially get by there's like little links within the videos which you have to try and like piece together, and then you get a new URL for an unlisted video. So yeah, I'll be covering those next time. So I think the next video will be Power Simulator again, maybe. Because it's things I'm kind of like, with the whole CBT thing that I've been mentioning in the previous videos, with like the behavioural activation and stuff. I'm actually a little bit ahead of my schedule this week, so I might be able to get Power Simulator done, but then I'm going to be quite busy next week, possibly going up to see Mike and Stace from Love to Explore, and then opening day at Alton Towers, so you know, I might be quite busy with that, so I might not be able to get a lot uploaded next week. So either the next video is going to be Power Simulator, or it will be from opening day at Alton Towers. I'm going to try and put a lot of focus on getting that done, because yeah, it's going to be a really good video, and you know, try and actually get it out in a timely manner. So yeah, until Power Simulator, I guess I will see you next time. Bye.